Did you go low contact before you went no contact? Either way, I have a question for you regarding both situations, or one or the other. What was the number one or number two or top 5 contributing causes in your relationship with your parent? Meaning maybe their behavior towards you or specific boundaries that you set that they just couldn't come to the table to respect. I didn't go no contact for me, although I've been trying to go no contact since I was like 7 years old, because I started running away from home at that age. And then when I was 13 and a half, it stuck and I ended up living on the street. So I was going no contact at 13, or I did go no contact at 13. Not funny. I don't know why I'm smiling about it. Because we laugh at our own trauma. Anyway, we have the darndest sense of humor, don't we? All that to be said. The way that my mother attempted to sabotage my life was certainly a contributing factor to my going no contact with her. Like trying to stop me from getting my GED, trying to interfere with the first time I was taking state board exams. I was getting my certified nurse's aide license at the time, and I was getting ready to go to nursing school. And by the way, I passed that and I got my GED, and she wasn't successful at ruining those things. And sabotage in my relationship with my mother, like the things that she did, was nothing new for me. I just didn't realize until that age how on purpose it was. Like I played flute. I wanted to go to Juilliard. She put me in a school with no music program. With intention. I know that now. I obviously didn't know it then. Coming forward though, the things that she did to sabotage me, like smear campaigning me, trying to hurt my relationships with people that I really cared about or I liked, or worse yet, they cared about and liked me, that sort of thing, those were contributing factors. That isn't why though I went no contact. I went no contact because my mother was triangulating my children. She was treating my eldest daughter, who was 6 years old at the time, as her golden child, the queen of everything, and my son like he was non-existent. And it was very, very, very marked. Even if it had been subtle, it's not okay. This was done in a way that was really in your face. And it seemed like, it was. The more I pointed it out, the worse it got. So I created a boundary around my children. And instead of adjusting her behavior and to, after all, treat children as, both being valuable and lovable and her grandchildren, she got worse. She caused me to have to continually reinforce that boundary. And then, of course, I was being problematic. Or boundaries around, don't tell my daughter, because she didn't do this with my son, to keep secrets. It's not healthy. Continued to do it. Don't expose her to movies that are inappropriate, like Poltergeist and Dirty Dancing. Continued to do it. And actually, she didn't get much of an opportunity there because that was about at the end. Don't speak to me in a way in front of my children that makes it seem like there's something wrong with me. Don't create situations where they feel distrustful of my capabilities as a mother. For example, she would do this all the time. Did you clean her ears? Did you give her a bath today? Did you feed her today? And in the beginning, when I didn't know any better, I would get like all defensive, not in a kind of way. No way. Not with her. She was terrifying. More like in a speechless kind of weakling. And I wasn't being a weakling, but that's what it felt like to me. Scared of her judgment, her criticism, I'm falling short as a parent kind of way, which I'm laughing now. I'm falling short as a parent. I'm saying it. That bitch dropped me out of a 2-story window when I was like 6 years old, but I'm falling short as a parent. And I didn't connect that. I just thought, oh my God, she's right. I'm terrible. And then I'm thinking, but I did give her a bath and I did feed her. Anyway, at that time, my ex-husband was on the scene and we were dating, and he has a degree in psychology and comes from loving parents and the whole 9 yards. Not perfect parents, loving parents. And he would say to me, why do you respond to her? He's like dumbfounded. And I'm like, what do you mean? And he's like, do you feed the kids every day? And I'm like, yeah. Do you bathe them, clean their ears, clip their nails? I mean, it's pretty evident that they're taken care of. I'm like, yeah. Okay. So then why do you fall into this thing where all of a sudden you feel like you haven't done those things? And I'm kind of looking at him and I'm like, that's a really good question. He's not telling me what's wrong. He's asking me why I'm feeling the way I do and giving me facts around it. It's a much better way to point out dysfunction to someone or downright abuse or whatever it is. Instead of pointing it out, asking them, what is it about that gets to them, or what do they feel about that? Anyway, that's a whole nother video, right? And so at that point, as I started to really collect myself and go, yeah, why am I even getting involved in that? And he taught me how to gray rock, and he used to call it mental judo. And he'd say, look, just agree with her. Go, no, I must not have cleaned her ears. And I'm like, but I did. He's like, yeah, but if you do that, now you have something where she can pick at you and argue with you, and you can make it fun. And so I did. And I would go, no, I didn't feed them today. And I wouldn't even let the sarcasm float out. It was sarcastic. Or my favorite that I use today that I always tell people, keep in your back pocket. I can see why you feel that way. Whenever that's appropriate, that is my number one go-to. My number two go-to usually includes a question. Well, why do you feel like I didn't clean her ears today? Like, show me the dirt without saying, show me the dirt. You get the gist? So I went no contact because my mother absolutely not only refused to respect my boundaries as a parent, she also would weaponize the boundaries in the fact that she knew that it wasn't okay with me, that I didn't want her to do it. There were times I explained to her why it wasn't okay to do it. I tried every which way I could because I really wanted my mother in my life and in the lives of my children. I wanted my mommy. I really did. Unfortunately, she just couldn't or wouldn't or chose not to, whatever it is that you want to say, come to the table and respect the boundaries I laid out as a parent, which are within my right, and treat me even a scintilla's worth of the way that she would treat a stranger on the street. And that's what ultimately led to us being no contact. It wasn't the child abuse. It wasn't even the stuff that went on when I was 17. And at this point, I'm 22, 23 years old, like stealing money from me. It wasn't any of those things. I would have left all of that in the past if she had, in the present at that time, just respected my boundaries and treated me with a little bit of niceness. I wasn't even looking for kindness because I know she doesn't have kindness. What is your reason? Please put it in the comments section. I want to use these comments because estranged parents out there like to grab onto, I wasn't the perfect parent. I did the best I could, and all the stuff in childhood that they are unwilling or unable to take accountability for. And they're weaponizing that now as being the real reason, the number one reason behind parental and adult child estrangement. And the biggest reason actually behind the estrangement is not what happened in childhood. If it were, then we would estrange when we turn 18 and we had the law on our side. A lot of people don't estrange until they're in their mid-20s, late 20s, even 30s and beyond, because they're trying to salvage the present time relationship. And when they realize they can't, it isn't because of what happened in childhood. It is because of what's happening during that time. So give the reason, give some depth to it. Post it in the comments section. And, I appreciate you taking the time to do so. It's important to me because I think it's important to all of us especially those estrangements that maybe have a chance of being repaired, if we can really talk about the present time reasons and come up with the receipts that these estranged parents, some of them are always looking for. I hate these and they, right? Many of them look for and hide behind. I want to use these comments in a really constructive way to point out to estranged parents or parents maybe that are experiencing that low contact place, that if they can show up now, that's a good beginning. And maybe eventually they'll address the childhood stuff, maybe not, but at least showing up now gives a better opportunity, a really great opportunity actually, to at least have a relationship with their adult children. So thank you so much in advance. I appreciate you being here. As always, if there's something that you would like me to talk about or somebody you would like me to feature, drop it in the comments section and I'll see you soon. Thanks.